Welcome back to War Thunder, welcome aboard the Kugelblitz, and I will feature a double gameplay here. The first one is recorded with the replay, I hope you won't mind, but the replay gives us some other features that are not that unimportant in this gameplay, especially when you see two of the kills being made. Now, I will feature those two gameplays because I will show how the Kugelblitz can perform in two extremely different roles. Of course, I'm talking here about the anti-tank role, of which I will feature in this first replay, and then in the second recording I will show you how it performs in the anti-air role. Now, not every gameplay or not every game that I tried had an outcome like this. Of course, there was a bit luck involved and so on, but you get the drill by right now. So we warn this Hellcat, hey dude, please get out, we want to capture all together, we are waiting, we hope to wait for a few more tanks, but then this Panther II gets impatient, but at least we get into the cap with 4 tanks. Now, this is very important because it's about the spawn points, not the research and silver line income, or research point income. Because regardless if you participate through the entirety of the capturing process, or if it's just you're alone, or if you just participate for a second in the capturing, when it's finished at least, you get 300 spawn points. And those are easy spawn points. So when you make a mistake, you're not immediately out. Keep this in mind if you have a booster activated, or if you want to win consecutive amount of battles, for example for a golden battle wager, who knows. So I want to go here for the flank to intercept fast enemies, and there are a lot of tanks that you can just annoy the hell out of with a Kugelblitz. The Kugelblitz has HVAP rounds, sorry about this, and it's a 1 in 3 belt ratio, so it's not a 1 in 4 like some of the higher tier AAAs, namely the Gepard and its Japanese, for all intents and purpose, copy, the Type 87, and also the British Falcon. They have a 1 in 4 ratio. This will not sound drastic, but in fact I think it's just the edge that you have in advantage. They have a bit more penetration, but that's not the thing that I'm talking about. We see here a T-54. I have no chance of really penning him from this distance, and what you're about to see is luck shot, and it's spraying, and it's something that really annoys the hell out of me if I get attacked by a AAA, and yeah, it's always difficult to explain really, and I want to show it right here from his perspective. He sees me, and he's angled in such a way that I just can't penetrate him, especially at this range. Going back here to my perspective, and you can see here the hit cam, I hit him, I fire on the move, and I get a very lucky shot. His gun breech is orange. So this is also a reason why I use the replay here. And now he thinks he has a safe shot. Now, by the way, this was a really lucky shot, don't get me wrong. He fires and blows himself up. What a kill. On one of the most dangerous tanks that you can face at a pure 7.0, 7.3 battle, really. I saw that there was another tank, but I did not quite manage to see him in time. In the replay, of course, you see the markers. I could disable the markers, but then also the markers for my team are disabled. You see also a Yak 9 and a Yak 3 in the air. I did not see them at that time. One of the big drawbacks that the Kugelblitz has compared to other AAAs is the very slow turret rotation speed for a AAA in particular. It is always worth mentioning that a lot of things come into play that makes a good AAA. I mentioned this in my comparison video. It's all about that you have a high rate of fire, a short reload rate, a lot of ammunition in total. It all plays together, and it's very important that you think about your drawbacks and benefits. So when we then talk about the Kugelblitz and its turret rotation speed, 25 degrees, that's not even half of the turret rotation speed of some other AAAs. For example, the Quilian has 60 degrees. That's amazing. Or same as the Wirbelwind. And the elevation speed is also not the very best. You know, we are talking here about 20 degrees. Although this is for most low to mid-tier AAAs the case. So, I going here in a very wide flank. I saw here this IS-2, but I cannot reliably pen him here. I would give away my position. Nobody is expecting me at this point in time. I saw the T-44-100 and I gave a good burst roundabout right now, but he completely ignored me, and then he turned around and again I hit the gun breech. Very lucky shot. And, well, he blows himself apart again. I also heard the AAAs, so I'm going after them. In a AAA versus AAA engagement, I think there is nothing more dangerous than a jumbled AAA. Be it the Kuelian with the armor, or be it the Kugelblitz with, obviously, the... the devastating double 30mm. I kill the first one, kill the second one, they derped around, I derped them as well, and now I'm hunting the T-44-122. And he has not recognized me being there. He just ignored me. Maybe he's listening to some Sabaton, I don't know. Into the motherland. Holy, what's that? Ah, it's me. From behind. And I hammer him, I disabled his gun breech, set him on fire, disabled him. You can do, if you have the right AAA, you can do massive devastating strikes. And now I'm camping here, but also I get a bit carried away. I didn't think that I have such a huge success. So up until this point I have my ace and I participated in a capturing of a point. Now I'm not quite sure, I'm too deep into the enemy territory. I look around. And what can I do? I cannot really shoot at aircraft. I would give my position away with the traces and a very unique sound. There has just to be one enemy player and I'm done. I saw now this T-44 and I just couldn't resist it was just too good of a target. The question is, can I still penetrate him at this distance? The answer is yes, I can. And I was immediately punished by an IS-3. So 6 kills, 1 capturing, and I continued the battle. The next battle I will begin again on Abandoned Factory. I'm sorry guys, but I just have the very best battles, the very most consistent results on this map. I'm not quite sure what it is. It must be the approach that I always tend to do with going for here the A point. Except if it's just the C point, of course, then I'm forced to go into another route to have a positive impact on the gameplay. And well, the thing is this, the Wirbelwind here is an amazing AAA, but I think it's just 3.7, and the HWAP belt that it has is also mixtured with APIT. Now this makes it a surprisingly good belt for anti-aircraft purposes due to the different muzzle velocities and also the different damage effect. Do not underestimate it. And I get here hammered by a, what is it, Carnarvon, and ultimately he takes me out. So again, the decision to use a AAA from the very beginning and to storm in like that is stupid. However, you can see I have a second respawn, and this time I was thinking about taking the Kuelian, but I wanted revenge. So I take the Kugelblitz. And this battle will be the absolute definition of Blitzkrieg to the last round. Was that overpronunciation? Blitzkrieg bis zum letzten Schuss. And this battle will be awesome. But not so much in the anti-tank role as in the role where Germans should train even more. Even though with the next patch we probably see a nerf in rockets, a lot of vehicles are still vulnerable to direct hits from HVR rounds or rockets and also RP3s. They still have enough penetration to go through a lot of the vehicle's armors. I think it's just the more heavily armored vehicles that get a real benefit from that. I mean, it's okay when the Tiger and the King Tiger, the IS series of tanks, the T-29, Super Pershing, and all those tanks get a buff to their armor or their importance of armor. So there's a smoke screen. And I just think to myself, well, what could be there in this smoke screen? I see the Panther 2, and I heard a shot right there. There he is. He shoots the Panther, and I shoot him. So, eye for an eye. Sunshine. And now I'm capturing the zone. I have it. And those are enough spawn points right now that I can participate in whatever I want. Or respawn in whatever I want. 300 spawn points, 90 spawn points that I had left from the previous spawn, and also the spawn points from this kill. Not quite sure how much I have, but it should be enough for everything by now. I heard a few fighting sounds over here, so I look up there, and I also want to position myself in a position that is beneficial for me. So you can see the poor turret traverse speed hinders me on firing on this aircraft. Yeah, this is really one big drawback. So you have to focus on how to deal with the aircraft. For example, like that. That was a Spitfire kill. Like, I love it. He never saw it coming. And it also was not a very long burst, so I probably didn't give my position away. Now you hear a Kugelblitz across the map. It's one of the most terrifying and one of the most recognizable sounds in the game, period. I mean, there are not many AAAs that make such a sound. Another guy, and I hit him, and I kill him. So you also can do some self-baiting. You shoot in the air and you know that they're coming for you. You wait up until the point that they go right at you, and then you pull the trigger. Now, I'm not perfect with AAA, and this was still the age of me learning it, or shall I say, relearning it, because there was a time when I loved to spade AAAs, but it was in arcade, and I used a very mean trick to get kills. Guess what? Okay, here's the trick in arcade. In arcade, you have those spawn points for aircraft in those mini events, and you press the 2 key for an attacker, and when you go then into nice kill, and when you then go into an aircraft, there is the opportunity for the enemy team to intercept you, and when they have killed enough of you, they fear a striking aircraft and they want to intercept it, despite even having AAAs for themselves. It's the lack of communication in arcade that is also a problem between the teams. Here's the thing. They can try to intercept you with up to 3 fighters, and most of the time they do. So I bail out, go back into my AAA, and then I have 3 targets in the air to shoot down. And when I have shot down at least 2 of them, I can repeat that in like a 1-minute circle. So I racked kills up to, like, I think the best that I ever had was 15 air kills in a single battle. That's quite some good results right there. And don't forget the anti-tank roll. So again, long range shooting is not the very best. You always have to shoot at them when you have a clear line of sight, when you have a clear good round, so you must not waste ammunition. And here you can see I'm down to 790 rounds, 778. It's still a lot, but you really have to play with what you have. Nice kill on the AL-10. This is my ace with a Kugelblitz. 5 planes and 1 tank. So, and in destroying cars, you also, I mean, I'm not the first one to mention this here, but you are heavily destroying the spawn point pool of the enemy team. Aircraft are still expensive. If they take rockets, it costs like 96 spawn points more, and to regain that, they have to kill something. So if you kill them with a few, if you kill a few aircraft, you take quite a lot of spawn points out of the enemy's spawn point pool overall. So you can actually take out players in total. And remember, with the Kugelblitz, you also have a little bit of armor. So you're not that vulnerable to machine gun fire or to light cannon fire. And rockets also don't have to, can't really kill you with the amount of splash kills that, or splash damage that they can inflict on those Russian potato trucks or even the American early BR half tracks, or the Wirbelwind, the Ostwind, the Battle Flag, the Gepard, and so on. You know it. Nice kill here. Those are the shots that you have to take if they go into a straight line and you have some points. If they go just over a building, I think I myself can lead just a little bit better. By the way, arcade is a very good training ground and also a very good spading ground for aircraft. Again, remember, the income in arcade is a little bit higher compared to realistic, which is still a reason why I recommend arcade for grinding. I myself go more and more in the RB way because, you know, it's a new challenge, let's put it that way, although I'm not the worst RB player there. So now I reposition myself, there is no tank to support me, and there I have a better shooting ground to the aircraft. There are more of the remaining teammates, so I also have better shooting angles at potentially attacking aircraft. Repositioning, positioning yourself in the first place is one of the key aspects, and now I'm down to 462 rounds. And there I see a tank, and this should be easy. I aim for the turret, don't go right through, just kill the gunner, the loader, I guess. I killed now the gunner and also make the ammo black, but that's just the rockets. I hammer him, and one thing that also you can do very effectively is to damage and break apart the gun. And there I get a kill assist. So again, I mean, I marked it for my team. I damaged him, he was distracted, so he was an easy kill. You know, an alive player in a AAA is 10 times more worth than a dead player, or infinitely better than a dead player, let's put it that way. And this time I don't get the aircraft in the exit vector. What a shame, what a shame. So enemy aircraft also don't feel really that comfortable attacking a Kugelblitz, I have to say. And my 7th kill. Good stuff right there. And again, it was a P-47M. If you let them run, if you let them just do their thing, they can do massive damage. And they are very tunnel visioned on the tanks that are marked. And now I just wait, I wait, fire, and don't hit it. And the correction was just not very good. I try also to use the hull traverse, but it's still a difficult thing to do. Don't blame me here, I'm not the best shooter, but sometimes I'm good enough. There's another aircraft that I previously didn't see, and he drops the bombs. Failed bomb drop at me, maybe a panic drop, what do I know, and I smoke his engine. So he is better visible for aircraft on my team as well, for other AAAs, and he will not make it very long. That's another kill. Just 30 rounds left. Just 30 rounds left. The ammunition you can expand in such a hurry, you wouldn't believe it. And he comes at me, aiming. Short burst, very short burst. 22 rounds, 16, 8, 6, 0. With the last bullet, with the last Minengeschoss, I took down another Hellcat. And those are 8 air kills and 1 tank kill. What a battle. And now I'm out of ammunition. I wanted to go into the A-cap to refill. Remember, the reload time with an ace crew is 50 seconds. In a cap where you have to be stationary. You must not move. And now I have to run. And this is why you still have in those, even in those German AAAs, you have to really you have to make the most out of your ammunition. It's so damn important. It's so damn important. I tell here my teammates, but there is nothing they can do. And I move here, and then I receive a shot in the turret, kills 3 out of my crew members. I mark him for the rest of my team. I try to escape, my engine gets set on fire, and that's me done. What a shame. And look at the spawn points. 2,600 spawn points. That's a lot. That's a lot. And you can see me here doing, I tried to go for the AAA lineup. This was an experimental lineup, so don't judge me. Normally I would have used other vehicles, other planes. The Coelion is a completely different AAA in this respect, because it is still an old-fashioned AAA. The reload for the belts, 0.2 seconds, and you can alternate between a pure Minengeschoss belt and an APHE belt, but with less penetration than the HWAP rounds. But that's a fair trade, let's put it that way. And you're the absolute nightmare for planes, because they can't kill you with cannon fire, except, you know, ridiculously big cannons. But, you know, I did a lot of stuff with the Coelion as well, and what I liked back in the days was the duality of the Coelion and the Kugelblitz, because you always had another AAA that was outstandingly good. We have, if I remember correctly, 1,500 rounds of total ammunition for the Coelion, and you just never run out of ammunition. Your rate of fire is lower, and you just don't have the same fear factor. However, what you shoot at with dual 37s explodes. It literally does. But that's quite literally the battle. Nothing happened anymore. And I think it's time that we look at the result. So for our 8 air kills and 1 tank kill, I got 50,000 or nearly 50,000 silver lines and just over 4,000 research points. I expect like double that for aircraft kills. How important CAS is for the allied teams to decide a match, how much I helped here my team, I should be rewarded big time, but I don't. And this is again something that Gaijin could easily adjust and give players another inspiration or another reason to stay in the battle, to pick up a AAA, to take a AAA into the lineup, to farm more silver lines. At least that's my opinion. So while the Kugelblitz is not the most effective AAA, it's not the very best AAA, it's the most terrifying and one of the most versatile ones, and it's just a force to be reckoned with. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please give it a like if you did, subscribe if you want to see more, and we'll see each other in the skies and on the battlefields of War Thunder.